I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Political Spotlight, and I am your most favoriteest host in the world, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. I am flying solo tonight. Solo, you can't even hear Kate. Kate is doing family stuff out west. She is with the grandkids out west. I think does she get back next weekend? I don't know if she gets back next weekend or the weekend after. I don't know, but she's dealing with family out there, and the laptop that she's been using out there, it crapped out on her today, crashed out, and so it was not very good, and she needs to do a reboot on it. She was going to get on, producer Kate was going to get on and be here via her phone in the duck doing the controls, but it's not very. This is a great system, but it's not very conducive to doing what you need to do from the cell phone. So it's just us tonight, you and I, like we like it. While the boss is away, we will have our way. Welcome. This is the Political Spotlight. We are coming to you on beautiful, beautiful Monday evening. It was a great day today, a beautiful day outside. A busy, busy day. If you're watching this live, then you're watching this on Monday evening, Monday, February 3rd, 2025. It is just about 9:12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this in the future and it's not Monday evening, welcome and thank you for giving us a little bit of your time whenever you do. We don't care when you watch. We would prefer that you watch live, but we have so many viewers that watch in a couple days from now. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. So thank you for being here whenever you're here, however you're here. Please do us a favor if you would and smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and share the show with everyone you know. Obviously, if you're here live, we want you to comment over there. I will tell you, since Kate is not here tonight, I will probably be hit and miss on putting up comments. When Kate's not here, it's kind of harder for me to do what I need to do and put the comments up and focus on all of that. So your comments are all there, and you can see them. You can all comment to each other. I will tell you, if you are If you're on YouTube, you can see all the comments, so you don't miss anything. So check that out. Hello, Alva. Hello, GW. Hello, Dave and David and Jeff and Les and Tim and Danny and everybody else that's here. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. So here's the thing. We have a big show tonight. It's just generically titled Meetings Analysis, and Dustin Dirt. And we'll get into what all of that is. We've had several meetings that I was monitoring today. And we've got a lot to talk about with all of that. And then I need to talk about a piece of mail. I got to talk about a piece of mail that I received today in the mailbox right here. Has no return address. No return address on it. Okay. And I'm hoping that the person who sent this is either watching or will be watching, because I want to have some correspondence with you. So this is about Dustin. I received mail today at my house about Mr. Dustin Clark. Amazing. So we're going to go over that in the second half of the show, but right now we're going to get into the meetings. Oh, I cannot wait till spring and summer comes and I get rid of this forever blasted sinus deal that I've got going on. Man, towards the end of last night's show, I could barely talk. I apologize for that. That's the worst thing to listen to when you're listening to somebody talk and they're just gravelly, nasally, nonsense voice. I'm so sorry. I've got like the worst situation vocally for doing what I do. It's like being a dancer and having no legs. Okay. So, first up, Delaware County Commissioners meeting. So we will address just straight out of the head. The rumors of my death are highly exaggerated. No, so I did not attend the Delaware County Commissioners meeting today. And for those of you that were here last night, you'll probably recall that as we started last night's show, one of my good friends, a newer friend, just recently in the last couple of years have met and started talking, and I really appreciate him and his thoughts and his words, is Tim Nickum, Mr. Tim Nickum. And Tim commented in last night and said, hey, reminder, Delaware County Commissioners meeting tomorrow, solar's on tap. And I was like, oh my God, I completely let it. I completely let it skip. I completely forgot in the last week and a half that the commissioners meeting was today. So I knew that I had a lot going on. What I want to address the commissioners about is not solar related. Listen, I am against solar. I do not want industrial solar screwing with these people's lives in Delaware County. I don't want it in Eaton. I don't want it in Royerton. I don't want it in Albany. I don't want it in Cowan. I don't want it in Yorktown or Daleville or Selma or DeSoto or, any place else. I don't want it in my grandparents' backyard. I don't want it across the street from me. We don't need it. I don't want it. Okay. That being said, I knew, number one, that there would be an outpouring of Delaware County citizens in attendance at the commissioners meeting today, number one. And I knew that there would be people both for and against, and I love the people speaking out against. I think it's fantastic. I'll tell you, listen, there were a good number of people that were there speaking for it. Yeah, GW reminded us obviously of the solar thing last night too. And I knew that there would be. So normally for the last several times this has come up, it's been like 8 or 9, 10 people standing up speaking against it, and maybe 1 or 2 people for. Today it was like back and forth, and so that's scary. It is what it is. I think that the people that are against it are more organized, are better put together. I think there are more of us than there are of the other side. What's interesting is of the other side, a large percentage of them do not live in the area. They're not, they're like, yes, we want this and we love it and we need it and farming and blah, 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 blah. But they're living, basically on campus. And it's like, hey, that's not happening, and GW, I saw GW during the meeting. Maybe, I don't know if they text me or if they said it on the stream today, but it was one of those meetings where it was standing room only inside the commissioner's chambers. And then it was overflow out into the hallway. And those are some of the best meetings. I love it when it's like that. And everybody's tense. Everybody's trying to listen. It's packed on out down to the hallway. I love those meetings when it's like that. So number one, what I have to address the commissioners about, it's not solar related. So I made the statement last night, and I want to say I'm sorry to you. I'm sorry that I fooled you guys. I didn't do it on purpose, and I will explain myself here in a minute. After I realized that I had forgot, when I was sitting here doing the show last night, talking about what I was talking about, and in the back of my mind thinking like, oh, am I going to go in the morning? I know what I've got going on, Kate's out of the area, and she is 3 hours behind, ahead or behind. I don't know. It's like 6 o'clock. No. Yeah, it's just like 6:21 her time where she's at right now. So the time is way, we got a difference and all that. So like, there's no way I could have her live stream the meeting this morning, and do that. And so, because it would be way early in the morning. So I was thinking, and I was so pissed off about what Shannon Henry did last time. I asked you guys to sign me up. And I knew that at least 2 individuals would be signing me up. So I knew that they wouldn't be signing up at the same time. It would be at different points on the sign-up sheet. And I knew that they would call my name twice in that meeting. And I wasn't going to be there. And that was just kind of my little, take that, Shannon. Yeah, it was stupid, whatever. But I wasn't going to go and speak because I didn't want to take the focus off of the solar. And the other reason is I am going to the Redevelopment Commission meeting. I am going there on the 13th. So I'm going there on the 13th, and I am going to address the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission. And at the Redevelopment Commission, there will be John Brook. commission, but on the commission, Steve Brand is there and Shannon Henry is there. So, and Shannon Henry is not the president. Amber Green's the president, and I've, got, we're at least friendly. So I know that I won't be like shut down. And I know that, they just won't be overly rude because it'll be Amber. So I should have a good go. I'll be able to address the issue, and that will effectively do what I've wanted to do. It's all about the whole ordeal with the FBI meeting with someone, and it's that whole thing. Remember, it's all about that. So we're going to do that. That'll be on February 13th. So I'm sorry that I tricked you guys, or, not tricked you guys, because here's what I'm going to do. Generally, when I will be at the meetings, I am going to try to get there before 9. But what we did today, at least we know it works. So, like, if I know that there's going to be an issue, I'll just have someone sign me up. Normally, I would attend. There's not a reason to not attend. I just knew today, with forgetting it to begin with, and then knowing that there would be packed house with solar, there was no point for me to go and speak today and then go and speak next week when I knew I wasn't going to get any kind of response or answer from them today. If Brand was the president, maybe, but I'll do it on the 13th, and it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. I don't care if Sherry Riggin hears it or not, because she's basically a do nothing anyway. So it is what it is. So I just wanted Henry to say it twice. It was great. So yeah, I love it. I thought it was amazing. Henry's such an asshole. So that being said, I was very proud of, again, Stephen Brand did a good job today. I was very proud of the solar people. I thought they did a great job today. Thought they did a good job speaking up there. And so the BZA, a couple people have reached out, and I literally found this out like the day after we made the big announcement. I went last time when Audie was put in. That would have been a great addition to the board. And I don't know if I said this last night or not. I think I did. I thought I did. I think I told this. Maybe I didn't. So Audie Barber had been nominated to the BZA. That would have been a great nomination. He would have done the right thing. He would have listened to what was going on, and he would have voted fairly, ethically. He would have told people where he stood, and you might not have agreed with every decision he made, but at the end of the day, you would understand why he made it, and he would allow you to converse with him about it, and he wouldn't not talk to people. So it would have been a great appointment, where he and I are of 2 differing political ideologies. That being said, the shit that matters, we're basically the same. He's constitutionally minded, personal freedoms. He's a Kennedy-crat. He's a blue dog Democrat. Audie doesn't know it, but Audie's a conservative. Okay. So yeah, Mike Jones left, and Audie was taking that spot. Well, here's the problem. And it wasn't Audie's fault. They asked, Audie contacted them and said, yeah, I'm a Democrat. I've, checked my history, my voting history. I voted, yada, 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 Democrat. It's been, I would love to do this. And they talked to him, and they nominated him, and they voted him in. And then when he went to do like the onboarding to give them all his information, his name and his address, they found out that Audie lives in the city. He lives in the city of Muncie. And the Delaware County commissioners, for their other boards, for any other board, it wouldn't matter. But the BZA is a very judicious board. It's set up to be a very, quasi judicial board has all these rules attached to it. per state law. And per state law, when the commissioners appoint, they can only appoint from the unincorporated areas of Delaware County. So Muncie is in Delaware County. And for any other board they have, Fair Board or, the ECIRPD board or any other board, they could appoint somebody from the city of Muncie because Muncie is in Delaware County. However, for BZA, you cannot live in Muncie. You cannot live in Selma. You cannot live in Yorktown. You cannot live in Daleville. You cannot live in Eaton, Albany. You have to live in the unincorporated areas of the county. So they have to pick a Democrat from that mix. DC Swamp Drainer, that's a really good question. And I think the truthful only answer to that is because he is and was and has been a Democrat. He's obviously voted Democrat in the primary, which allowed him to hold that position. Ironically enough, the whole time he's been out here beating the drum for James King, I kept saying they're all Democrats. Nobody wanted to believe me. Nobody would believe me. Well, you guys all knew, but some of the idiots didn't. And so it is what it is. But yeah, that's a good question. And that's something that would be interesting to get an answer from. How was Mike Jones in this position? I'll have to go back. I'm pretty sure I have his voting history. And this is something that people don't understand. People don't know this. Anybody can poll anybody's voting history. Okay? I could poll yours. You could poll mine. That's not saying you're finding out who I voted for. What it is they keep a list. If you poll a Republican ballot or a Democrat ballot in the primary, how many elections that you've been to. Have you missed an election? Do you skip an election? Did you vote here but not here? They keep all of that information, and it's a requestable document. Matter of fact, I just requested several documents from folks here recently as I was looking into some things for the ethics committee. So that's what was going on. So I just pulled the voting histories of Susan Dillon, which I knew was a Republican, of Charles Chip Taylor, and of Sandra Whitaker, and then W.C. Fields and Jim Lowe, because I wanted to see what was actually going on there. So that's how last night I said that I knew that Chip Taylor has never polled a primary ballot. he polled a primary ballot in 2018, and it was just a school board ballot because it was a nonpartisan ballot. So you can go to the polls on primaries and say, I want to poll just the school board. And because they're currently not marked as Republicans or Democrats, it's considered a quote unquote nonpartisan ballot. And so that's what he did. Other than that, he has only voted in the general election each year. And there's a lot of people that do that. To me, that's mindlessly stupid. You need to be voting in the primaries too, but I'm sure Chip has a reason why he would do that. So it is what it is. How would someone ask for that information on voting? Here's exactly how you do it. You need as much information as possible. So, for example, if you wanted to request mine, you would send it to the clerk. So anywhere you live in the state of Indiana, if you send it, you have to send it to the clerk of the county in which you're trying to find out information of. So if you're wanting to find out what Kristopher Bilbrey's polled, politically speaking, in the elections, you could contact the Delaware County Clerk's office, Rick Spangler, and you could simply say, through record request, I'm requesting the records, the full vote history of Kristopher H. Bilbrey. Now, with my name the way it is, Kristopher with a K, there's only one of me. There's not two running around here in Delaware County. There's not even another Kristopher with like a CH. It's just me. I'm the only one. So my name is, just enough that you wouldn't really need any other information. They could pull that as is. Now, if you want to find out the voting history of James Smith, so for example, I have a cousin named Jamie Smith. Well, how many Jamie Smiths do you think there are? I mean, I know of at least 4 Jamie Smiths. Some of them are boys, some of them are girls. Okay. So if I wanted to pull Jamie Smith's voter history, I'm going to need the address, date of birth, or some kind of other identifying information. And if you don't have it, I mean, I guess the thing that you could do is say you wanted them all, I don't know, but I'll just tell you, for example, in this poll, I requested history for, who did I request it for? Who all did I request? Let's go back here and see. Rick. I requested Susan Dillon, Charles Chip Taylor, James Jim Lowe, W.C. Edwards, and Sandra Whitaker. Well, Rick sent me back a response and said, James Lowe and W.C. Edwards, I would need more information on. Well, I would think that W.C. Edwards would be easy, but I guess we don't know if it's William or, Walter. I've got to, I know what it is now, but so that's the deal. So, there's some things that you'll need more information, but that's how you would do that. Okay. So we're getting a little off topic here. I want to get onto this meeting. Basically, we're not going to listen to the meetings. Again, we're just going to go through, hit some of the highlights. You can go back and watch these meetings. I would highly recommend you and would kindly ask you, if you're going to watch the meetings, watch them from our channel. You can watch the meetings that we're going to be talking about from 2 different channels. You can watch the Delaware County Commissioners meeting from the Delaware County YouTube page. You can also watch it from our channel. The audio and the video is the exact same on both channels, meaning the video is okay because the video is okay. The audio sucks. They have a problem right now. They've had it for a while where it sounds like it's quiet. And then anytime somebody speaks, it sounds like they're taking the microphone and dragging it through rocks. And so it's a real shitty setup. They are in the process of getting it fixed. They just talked about that today. So hopefully here within the next month, that's going to be fixed. I'm praying about it, keeping my fingers crossed, because it's hard to be a part of that listening if you're listening to it and it sounds like that. So just horrible. Oh yeah, they have an audio guy, but if you've got shitty crackly mics, there's nothing you can do about it. It's kind of like that scene from the original 1989 Batman, Tim Burton Batman, where the Joker goes to that surgeon and the surgeon's like, you see what I have to work with here. If the equipment sucks, there's nowhere to go from there. So it's still good enough that you can hear what's happening. So, you can make it through it. If you're going to watch it from our feed. I would appreciate that. But in the end, you can do what you want to do. It doesn't truly matter. So the agenda that the Delaware County Commissioners talked about today is as follows. Here's the front. Oops, that's today, Muncie. Here is as follows. Here's the front page. Here's the back page. Basically, it was, as we talked about it last night, we're not going to go through a lot of this. You can go back and watch this. They are looking at extending the moratorium, and that, of course, is what has all of the people in support all butthurt. They're like, oh, no, get rid of the moratorium, and Stephen brought up a really good point. There are several bills currently being discussed at the State House that affect this. So I get it that these people speaking in favor they have some kind of strange need for this to go ahead and start, even though a good majority of them are nowhere connected to the properties. They just want it. They want it done because this is one of those things that's falling down. It's falling down a party line. Okay. So that's what it seems like, it's always crazy when you could have nothing, you could know nothing about this, and you could walk in and watch this meeting, and you could literally put the two sides, the two people in their appropriate political spectrum. It's like really weird. I don't know. I don't like that. I like when people can, you don't have to, I get so frustrated, man, with it. It's just frustrating that it feels like the people that are against, or excuse me, the people that are for it are they've got no real dog in the fight. They're just for it because it's part of their political wokeness that they need to, start this green energy here in Muncie. Whatever. Yeah, when did they start having P breaks? GW, can you confirm? Can you confirm when they picked up the sign-in sheet? I have a belief, and I might be wrong, that they didn't pick up the sign-in sheet until the P break. Now, I could be wrong about that. And if so, I will admit that I'm wrong, and I'll say, yep, I was wrong. Okay. But I think based off of what Sherry said at one point, I feel like she went out, or someone went out and got the sheet then. Can anybody confirm or deny that? Anybody that was there? We're going to watch this because I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. Too many old men and women can't work more than an hour. Hey, last week, I'll be honest, it was really freaking me out. But then I realized I'm drinking more water. Like when it gets, because the show normally is anywhere between an hour and about 20 minutes and about 2 hours and 30 minutes here. Okay. And, that's not a long time. But like last week, I was like, I couldn't make it through any of the shows last week without having to take a pee break. And that's just horrible. I'm like, in the back of my mind, I don't have a growing problem. I have a growing problem. I'm thinking, oh my God. Yeah. Henry normally doesn't, know what it's like to work past an hour. These meetings used to go 20 minutes. And you can just see the disdain on his face for that. I love it. So, okay, here we go.
And VIP, you're required to put in a description.
That was a good part of the meeting.
Keeper's tax on there of $73,140. And that's coming.
Okay, here we are.
A little bit of a break here. So Sherry made a motion, second recess. We'll come back in at a quarter after.
Now watch her.
So we're going to be in recess.
And we need to get this.
She said, and we need to get that. And she starts pointing. I'm pretty convinced what she's talking about right then. And I need to find out. Because I tell you what, I'm telling you. If the very next meeting after Henry gave me so much shit about needing to be there before 9, they left that thing. I need to understand why. Is that going to happen from now on? Because if that's fine, good. And I appreciate that. But I need someone to tell me what's the deal. Because I have a sneaking suspicion, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But let's see what happens. I'll tell that'll tell us maybe when she walks back up. Because listen to what happens here. Watch this again.
Motion to approve the claims after my comments. A motion and a second. Pay claims. Roll call, please. Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand. Commissioner Henry. Yes. We have no ARP claims. We have payment of payroll for 1/29 of 2025. $1,084,187.77. Second.
Here it comes.
Payroll. The second. Roll call, please. Commissioner Brand. Yes. Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry. Yes. All right. Next, we'll go to public comments.
How about a recess?
Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to recess for 10 minutes to give us a little bit of a break here. So Sherry made a motion, second recess. We'll come back in at a quarter after. So we're going to be in recess.
And we need to get this.
Right there. I am convinced. I'm convinced that that's what she's talking about. Now let's see. We'll see when she comes back in what she does. Look, she's getting ready to come back in here, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe Sarah Hodges got it. Hold on. We'll have to look. That's wrong. Let me see here. Oops. And Shannon gets up too. So hold on here. Let's see what goes on. Hey, everybody, let's watch 10 minutes of silence. Okay, so she doesn't bring anything over. Come on. Come on. Let's see it. Brand leaves. Okay. Here comes Sherry, no paper. He leaves. I could be wrong. All right, I guess I was wrong. So that's I mean, it still sucks. It's like if I was right and they left it out there, I guess I would be happy. I guess I would be kind of pissy because they didn't do that 2 meetings ago, but I would be happy because at least they've learned their lesson. But if I'm wrong and they pick the paper up at 9:00, that would be shitty. I mean, so it's like it's a lose-lose. Oh. That must be the sign-in sheet right there that she's looking at, because it looked like she was just counting people. That must be the sign-in sheet right there that's on his desk, on her desk. I bet that's it. Oh yeah. I'm not seeing. I don't think anyone's gonna bring him anything. I think that's it. That's still shitty to have all those people there. To have all those people there. And you're telling me every single person got there before 9? Let's see here. Yeah. Here it goes.
All right. Listen up, everyone. We'll get started here. Begin with public comment. So first is
all right.
Dan Barry. Everyone.
So there's that. So he had it. What a shitty deal. That's insane. Honestly, that's I see you there, Lenny. That is really, really crazy. Maybe they all came on school bus. So that's the meeting was good today. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here from the commissioner's perspective. I mean, I know that Stephen has the ability to stand up against the people and listen to what's going on here. He is a robot when it comes to listening to this and sussing out, everybody's motives here behind what's going on. And he's really good with this. And he had a lot of good ideas. Again, even though we've still got Shannon and we've still got Sherry, what Stephen is bringing to the commissioners as a whole and to Delaware County is good. It's a lot of good stuff, and I hope it continues. I have no reason to think that it won't continue. So I'm excited to see where we go from here. So the meeting went in the commissioners meeting today went pretty much like I figured it would. And if you're interested in listening to the various groups speaking for and against, it's definitely something that you should go back and listen to. So, okay. The other thing that I want to talk about, the other meeting that I want to hit real quick before we get into the Dustin stuff, is the Muncie City Council meeting. And again, we're not going to watch lots and lots of pieces of this because a lot of you I know already have. And if anybody missed it, you can go back and watch this again on our page or on their page. But I want you to be able to see, and I want to explain to you a couple of things that I had concerns with. And so those issues are coming right up here. And that did happen. So I will say that's one good thing that the commissioners and the council are good with. They will allow you to gift your time to somebody else as long as you have signed up and someone is speaking and they tell someone they're out of their 3 minutes. If you say, hey, I want to give them my 3 minutes, they will allow you to do that. So that is one good thing they do. And I was happy about that. And that was Gasaway. I always forget her first name. Her husband is on the Yorktown Town Council. I tell you what, her husband, the woman that spoke that got those extra 3 minutes, he's actually somebody that I would like to see. I would like to see him run for Delaware County Council. I think he would be a good addition to Vicky Gasaway. Yeah, Tim, that's right. Her husband is somebody that I absolutely would like to see as someone running, and he would be running against Flanagan in District 1, and I think he could do it. I think he could give him a run for his money. Reagan is one of the reasons why people stopped running for office as Republicans. She put her opinion and name even in city precinct committeeman election decisions where she had no reason to be involved. Yes. Seems a little fishy, like they left it out there longer because they knew folks for solar were coming. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with that. I would like to know when it was actually picked up. I was at the Muncie City Council for a while. It's exhausting being an international correspondent. Yeah, Lenny, I bet. Yeah, Victoria was well-spoken. She always is. She always comes with heat. Love listening to her speaking about the stuff because she's up there and she's definitely throwing heat. Her husband, Jason, is currently a Yorktown City Council, Yorktown Town Councilor. And I definitely think he could be a good addition to the Delaware County Council. So if I have anything to do with it, we're going to try to push him into filing to run. I think that would be badass, personally. Just personally speaking. Okay. Now, this city council meeting, I want to, we're going to get through all of the intro and everything. I want to show you guys. Okay. Very strange. All right. They were doing a thing where they were talking about committee reports. Okay. Wait till the solar fails and Brand and Matt Todd Young can't bring the nuke reactor. I still don't think that's going to happen, but time will tell. Matt Todd Young can't. I think Matt could be better. I think Matt's coming around. Time will tell. I don't know. We shall see. All right, I want you guys to hear this. Okay. So first up, Muncie City Council meeting. It was busier. Both of the meetings were busier than usual. Definitely. The Delaware County was packed, was standing room only and out and down the hallway. City was just like a little bit heavier meeting. All right, here we go.
We are still in the fact-finding.
All right, listen to what this guy's saying here. He's talking about the Land and Traffic Committee, okay? And he's talking about the annexation, the two annexations that were not the voluntary. He's talking about the annexations that the people are fighting. Listen to this.
President,
Yes, sir.
I have a report for the Land and Traffic Committee. We met on January 22nd, dealing with the questions that we had and some of the questions the citizens had about our annexations that are on the agenda tonight. We are still in the fact-finding mode. A lot of stuff came late, so as a committee, we weren't able to vote whether to go positive or negative as a recommendation.
As a committee, you as the chair of the committee were in a hurry to get through the thing. You didn't seem like you wanted to be there to suck in the information and to get as much information as possible and to get your questions answered. Matter of fact, at the end of the meeting, when you said, I still have 9 questions that I didn't get answered, and somebody, I don't know who it was, either Ridenauer or one of the attorneys or someone from his administration stood up and started to act like they were going to come up and address that, you put your hand up and stopped them and said, "We're out of time now. We got to get out of here." And before that, you had told your two counterparts on each side, "I'm trying to hurry this along." Why? Don't hurry it along. Sit there as long as it takes. If you got to be there for 3 hours, be there for 3 hours. You're not elected to hurry things along. You're elected to get to the bottom of the biggest questions and to answer them with information that is appropriate and to have as much information and do the will of the people, not speed it along so you can get home to watch Jeopardy, dude.
So I'm just going to pass this on to the council.
So, okay, well, we've got a Land and Traffic Committee that's supposed to do something and make a recommendation, and we're not gonna have any more meetings. I'm just gonna pass this on to the council. What? So basically, there was absolutely no point in the Land and Traffic Committee because those people that spoke last week should just come and speak in March. And I'm going to be shouting from the rooftop. Everybody that came to the committee to speak needs to come to the meeting in March because they will be doing the vote in March. Just FYI.
Okay. We'll go to ordinance.
Excuse me, can I make a
Okay, now they don't really know what they're doing up here, and somebody from the audience decides to take some action and wants to make a statement.
brief announcement about the Ethics Commission?
Wait, hold on just a second.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to talk about this a couple times. I am sick to death of Sarah Gullion whispering in meetings. Okay, I literally sent her a text message tonight. As soon as the meeting ended, I sent a text message that said, "You have to stop whispering to whoever is next to you. For one, it is extremely distracting. You might not realize it, but those whispers are picked up on mic, and they almost become louder than the person speaking. But more importantly, the public access counselor, Luke Britt, has stated multiple times that doing that could very well be considered an open door violation. So it basically becomes a situation of, what do you have to say? If it's important enough to say it to the person next to you at this juncture, it's important enough for you to tell the entire class. You have a mic there. Speak up or stop speaking." I don't understand it. We're 2 years into this now. We're on to the second year. She seems so flustered and befuddled and nervous and scared and just spends all of the time whispering. All of the time she spends whispering. And listen, I'm going to be really honest. And I don't know if you can tell, because I'm even saying this, it sounds like I'm yelling here. I'm hard of hearing. All right. From the time that I was 12 until the time that I was 26, I played drums, loud with a band with speakers and PAs right behind my head, like an idiot without ear protection. Like, because I was in a rock and roll band, and who in the hell is going to wear earplugs? Nobody. Okay. And so I ruined my ear that way, loud music. And then the only thing worse than that is, for a duration from the time I was 21 until I've never stopped, I shoot guns now. And yeah, sometimes I wear ear protection. Sometimes I don't. But I have damaged my hearing, and I am hard of hearing. And there is nothing worse than trying to hear something and hear someone and focusing on one person and having some background noise going. That is the most distracting nonsense of all time. Knock it the hell off. But more importantly, it's an open door violation. So also quit. All right. So let's continue on.
Very briefly, just want to announce the Muncie Ethics Commission first meeting.
Okay. So Chip Taylor has rose to announce that there will be another run at having the Ethics Commission's first meeting. They were going to have a first meeting last Thursday. There was some weirdness. It didn't get published. They were going to have it anyways. Apparently they didn't know. They found it out through some, accidents. And then they finally determined, hey, we can't have this meeting. So they didn't have it, thank God. He is announcing and hoping that this counts for the public notice. It does. It does. It also needs to be published outside on the door, but they are announcing it in an open public meeting, and technically this officially counts. So he's telling us that they're going to have a meeting
Scheduled for next Wednesday, February 12th. It will be here at 6 p.m.
Next Wednesday, February 12th at 6 p.m. There's plenty enough time between now and then. This counts, but they also need to get it out on the door.
There will very likely be a second meeting in February on the 26th also.
And he's saying there's going to be a second meeting for someone. I mean, why are we having problems all of a sudden? I thought the point of this was to meet when we had problems. What's going on? So I'm interested to know about what's happening there. But also, I also want to know, is this going to be live streamed? Is it not going to be live streamed? There's a lot of questions that come with this. So I'll be looking into getting those answers.
Here at 6 p.m. So anyway, just had a chance to let y'all know we're about to get started. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Okay, board appointments. Are there any appointments to boards or committees?
Mr. President, I believe we have the land bank appointments. The mayor had appointed.
now watch this. Watch this. Okay. She's talking to him about this. Watch this.
Had a chance to let y'all know we're about to get started. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Watch this.
Okay, board appointments. Are there any appointments to
Took her
boards
glasses
or
off.
committees?
Picks her
Mr.
glasses
President, I
up.
believe we have the land bank appointments. The mayor had appointed Jim Lowe to the Ethics Commission, which was a great appointment. But it also means that Mr. Lowe was the council's appointment to the land bank. So our land bank appointment is now open. And so I would like to nominate John West, Dr. John West, to that appointment.
I'll second that.
Okay. The motion has been made and
She's so nervous. What? Why? Listen, and I'm hearing myself, and it sounds like I'm picking on her. I am. It doesn't exude confidence. Listen. The one thing I went into this thinking, I listen, when we found out in November of 2023 who won, and I found out that our council was going to be made up of Jerry Dishman, Rose Selvey, Sarah Gullion, Brandon Garrett, Harold Mason, William McIntosh, Nora Powell, Dale Basham, and Jeff Green, I thought, oh, shit. But the one thing that I went into this knowing is, well, Sarah is highly intelligent and she's going to do a great job. Whether I agree with her or her politics, I know she'll do a good job. And that's not what I've seen from her. I've seen the exact opposite of that. And she just adds into it with all of the other cast of weirdo characters on the board. And it's like no one up here really exudes confidence other than Nora Powell. And it's like sometimes it's good, but I also know what that means. It's going to be bad one of these days. And so it's scary, but I wish she would just take a moment and breathe. You're up there. You're a counselor. You have every bit of right to speak as everybody else. Concentrate. Be mindful in what it is you're saying, and let us know that you guys know what you're doing, because we don't. At least from my perspective, I don't feel like anybody here knows what the hell's going on.
seconded to nominate Mr. John West to fill the vacancy of.
And at first it's like, okay, I understand it. But now that we're, one whole year and we're into the second year, we're starting into the second year. It's like, now I can't, we got to figure something out with it.
Mr. Jim Lowe.
Okay. So we go through this.
Is there a motion for approval of this ordinance?
So moved.
Now here's the ordinance.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Roll call, please. No, any discussion? Right. Is there anyone here to speak on that?
all night he kept forgetting that they had to allow people to speak. That's frustrating.
Good evening, council. We are here to answer any questions, I suppose. I mean, we've kind of gone through this in the last couple of meetings and at the committee. So if there's anything else that you need information on, we'd be happy to provide it.
Council have any questions?
Okay.
I'm confused. Did not William Macy, is that his name? Not William H. Macy? No, William H. Macy's an actor. William McIntosh, that's his name. Did Billy Mack, I'm just going to start calling him that because I always get him confused. Did Billy Mack not just sit up there and say, you know, there were still some issues and they didn't have enough to make a recommendation? Why is Nora, why is Sarah not asking any questions right now? Why are they just letting this go through without asking any questions? Look, I understand that we're going to get to some questions here in a minute. It's weird that he didn't have any questions of Dan, and it's you know, it's just kind of strange. Now, granted, one of these places is just a field, so it's no big deal, and the other is Westminster Abbey, and there's nobody really fighting that. So I will say, last night I was off. I thought that they might choose to vote no on this to make it easier for next week. They did not end up doing that, so that's actually impressive that they went ahead and voted. Now, I'm not saying that I'm for or against either way just yet. I'm just saying they voted, and that surprised me. So
Any members of the public have any questions or comments?
And start by any questions you guys have.
They ask him some
In our most densely populated, ran the numbers. And so annually,
that Jason Chafin,
I believe
the fireman politician, he gets up. He's the most political person in the world. He knows he's got to make, you know, fancy moves and be seen and be heard. So that's why he gets up to say basically the same stuff over and over and over and over again.
By doing like what Chief Clifford just said and taking those calls away. And in doing so and making my guys' jobs.
Is there a motion for approval of this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion's made and seconded, made by Garrett, seconded by Gillian.
And it's Gullion. Maybe she's nervous because she's like, when this
Hi there,
going to start
Alan
calling me Gullion.
Wisely with the city attorney's office. I'm one of the assistant city attorneys last month, but Building Commissioner Rawlings was here to explain this ordinance. Every few years, the city is required to update this ordinance in accordance with the new requirements from FEMA and the Indiana Department of Natural Resources in order for property owners in the city of Muncie to continue to participate in the federal floodplain insurance program without.
Okay, sorry. We went through the vote. They voted 9-0 to introduce, or not introduce. They voted 9-0 on the on ordinance. Let me pull this up so you guys can see it. They voted 9-0 on 3124, an ordinance of the city of Muncie, Indiana, annexing certain territory to the city of Muncie, placing the same within certain corporate boundaries thereof, and making the same a part of the city annexation area 3, city owned near Farmington neighborhood, and then the Westminster. So they voted 9-0 on 3124 and 3224. So those two things were accepted and they go forward. For anybody that is concerned about the other annexation, that will be on the agenda next month. So that's when it's going to get real, I think. I think there will be a lot of people more coming to speak against it. So I think the Muncie City Council meeting next month is going to be really, really busy. So okay, this ordinance is for about the floodplain, and so let's listen here.
without this program, the property owners in the city of Muncie who live within the floodplain would not be able to get insurance on their properties.
East of North Morrison Road, Muncie, Indiana.
7 with 2 absences. Favorable.
Favorable. All right, Ms. Selvey, seconded by Councilman McIntosh. Anyone have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to, my name's Jacob Wagner. I'm the listing broker on the building representing for the East Central Indiana Regional Planning Commission. The whole purpose of the zone change would just obviously it's zoned for multifamily as already, but the idea would be to refurbish the building so apartments can go back into that building and also have commercial space on the bottom. I'm sure you guys have seen photos of the building, but it's pretty bad shape. So I think it'd be good for it and good for the area as well. So
they go through this.
Planning Commission give it a 7 with 2 absences. Favorable.
So the Planning Commission, which is a 9-person board, they had 2 absences. And so the 7 people that were there gave it a favorable recommendation.
Okay. Is there any further discussion from the please? Here we go.
Should the requester come first?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do. Okay.
Go ahead, Chris.
All right. This is the big thing happening at this meeting.
Hi, I'm Steve Servies. I'm representing the developer on the site. We'd like to request this be continued for a month to give us a little bit more time to prepare some additional documentation. It seems like there's so many people that had questions at the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission had even asked us for information that typically you wouldn't have for a rezone. So it just gives us a little bit more time to bring something to the council that
He wanted
we can
this
share with everyone.
Okay. Plan Commission's recommendation was unfavorable.
Yes.
The Planning
7-0
Commission
vote.
We
recommendation
understand
was
that.
unfavorable.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for you. Is there a reason why you didn't bring those plans forward before all this?
Typically for a rezone, you don't have plans or anything like that. We can prepare a concept plan to show what we had, but typically when you do a rezone, you don't go into plan development or anything like that until you know that you're getting approved. It costs the client a lot of money that could be wasted, if you do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're asking for a continuance,
Till the next meeting, yes.
so we could table this?
Could we have comments before you do
or-
Yeah.
Yeah, before.
Right.
Yeah, if somebody wants to make that motion, you could table it. But
Let's hear
there's already
comments
enough people
first.
here. I'd hear them out first.
Okay.
Right.
Let's hear, anybody else have any questions? Comments?
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening,
Hello?
President Mason, City Council members. I am Jim Lowe. I live at 2501 North Kensington Way in Robinwood. So my property is adjacent to this property under consideration.
Okay. Now, what I want to say about this is, number one, if anybody is here from the solar fight, I would definitely recommend the people fighting solar go back and listen to this. Start it at 59:15 and listen forward and listen to these people's arguments, specifically Jim's here. Listen to what they're saying, because a lot of it could apply to the fight against solar. It's very interesting, but they do a good job of this. But we're not going to listen to all of this because most of us just did. But there's a large percentage of people that get up and address the council about this. And except for the one person who was there favorable, the one person there wanting it, basically nobody else wanted it. Everybody else was
for about 15
everybody else was negative.
years, resident here with my wife.
Or we don't decide on decisions like that lightly. And I want to appreciate that the neighborhood from Eagles Nest to the Robinwood. Wow, you guys have been so active. We heard you loud and clear. Those emails did not stop coming. And what a role model for other
And
communities.
listen to that. Listen to that. The emails did not stop coming. That is something that is good to hear, that there are people out there that are willing to do that. So often people get lazy and they're like, oh, somebody else will do it. No one is coming to save you. You have to do it yourself. And if you do it and 50 of your friends did it, cool, great. That's all the better. If you did it and 200 people did it, great. You know, and that's what I'm trying to get all these people to understand about this situation with all the House bills. Man, you need to be sending emails, and there's nothing wrong with sending an email once a week, once every 2 or 3 days, once a day. If you're trying to get correspondence with your elected official and you're being polite and you're not being like violent and crazy, if you're trying to speak and they're not responding to you, you know, I've emailed them several day weeks in a row before I finally got an answer. I was like, damn, you know, it shouldn't have been this long, you know. So I like to hear that Rose said that these people, you know, no matter where you fall on what they're doing, at least they had the, you know, the wherewithal and the forethought to send these messages out and to keep hammering and letting them know what their position was. And we do not want this, you know, yada, yada, yada. So that's good. That's really good.
Communities and neighborhoods to let us know what you think, because sometimes that helps with our decision making and makes our conscious and our decision based on our conscious better and easier to make. So thank you for that.
Very well put. Any other further discussion?
Very well put.
I just want to piggyback off of Council Person Selby also. I care about our neighborhoods also, and I'm at large.
I too care about them.
Of the City of Muncie Code of Ordinance.
I too care.
I'm here to support the ordinance that is being put forward. Really nothing about the ordinance that's being proposed stands in great opposition to what it is that we currently do. If anything, it just kind of codifies some more of the boundaries and sets into place a little bit more of the boundaries that we have, as well as kind of defines the processes that we already have.
Parking around Burris.
Okay, there's no motion to approve.
Just stay on the table.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
is the person here on this table ordinance?
Is there anybody here wishing to speak on this ordinance?
We haven't taken it off. We haven't taken it off the table. It's not, nobody's taken it off the table.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any other business that anyone has?
Watch this.
Not, we stand adjourned.
I'm not even going to vote on it. I'm not going to take a motion to adjourn. I'm leaving. Dude, what?
Oh. Public comment. Tell me it's been a long day, man.
See you later.
I'm telling you.
Should I take that personally?
Okay.
Please don't.
I'm Charlize Jameson.
Want to get
Any of you have heard this or can?
Just wanted to let you guys know, and
I want to get to
with the climate means that
And work with this is actually to work with immigration attorneys. And if I would encourage you to, from the Human Rights Commission, to see if attorneys here in Muncie will do some pro bono work and be proactive, because even if they're here undocumented, there's paperwork and procedures, they can put them back on track.
Yes.
So I think there are ways for us to help them. And I think the law and, communicating with attorneys and finding people that can help legally would help a lot, alleviate some of this.
We've been in contact with some lawyers in Indianapolis.
Yes.
And think one here.
Yes, I do believe Beasley and Gilk.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and then Aubrey Chris
Yes.
also.
Okay, thank you.
So we're working on it.
Thank you.
Okay, any other business?
Entertain a motion to adjourn. Make a motion to adjourn.
That being said, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Green was at our neighborhood association meeting. He said something. I tried to confirm it since. I haven't been.
Public comment.
The R3
I don't know
resident.
where I don't know, and I'm not. Honestly, I'm not going to go back and listen. But somewhere near around the end here, there, Sarah Gullion, and I think it's Sarah and Roe, and it's just Sarah just going the whole time, and I'm like, dude, you have to stop that. So I hope she goes back and she watches the meeting. There's been a couple of different times I've told her she needs to go back and watch the meeting for a couple of different things. She's not the only person I've ever done that to. I've done that. I used to do that to Aaron Clark a lot because, man, I don't think they realize when they're sitting up there what their facial expressions are doing. And they need to be cognizant of that because, you know, to me, I don't care if they're sitting up there frowning or don't like me. That doesn't bother me. But there are people, citizens, that might be nervous about speaking. And when they're looking at people scowling or they're seeing people, you know, doing things and making it seem like they don't care, it's like they're like, well, why am I going to get up and speak? They don't even care about me, you know? And so I'm just way against that. So those are the meetings. Definitely check those out. For anybody that's here from Madison County, there was also a Madison County Commissioners meeting today. I have not watched that. I'm sure that Catherine will go through that. I'm sure she watched it if she wasn't there, and she'll give me the highlights. We'll have her on one day this week, and we will talk about all of that. But before we leave, I want to address this Dustin Clark thing. This is the Dustin Clark dirt, okay? Sitting here, minding my own business, doing work today, looking through all this stuff, and I get this letter addressed to me, handwritten out, Kristopher Bilbrey, 65. I'm not going to tell you where I live. You guys have seen it. It's all over. Whatever. They write down my address and don't put a return address on it. And I understand they're like trying to convey information to me, and they don't want to be named. Listen, if you're out there and you're listening to this, please text me. There was somebody else that was responding to me, corresponding with me about this kind of information, and I'm trying to consider if it's the same person or not. I would really like to speak with you, and I will keep you off the record. If you would rather not speak because you don't want me to know who you are, send me a fake email, send me a text message. There's ways to do that. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I will keep you quiet. Go back years and years and years. I don't burn people. But I would like to talk about this. So, and the other thing is, if you're the person who was sending me text messages, I was kind of thinking maybe they were worried that I hadn't done anything with it, and I'm just like not doing anything. I am and have been working on this. So what they sent me today was a printout of the Indiana Secretary of State's business search. And what it says is Granville Neighborhood Association, Inc., Domestic Nonprofit Corporation, active, perpetual, and it was started on 4/20 of 2023. So during the city election, this was started back in April of 2023. The principal office address, let's take a look at what that is. I want to look this up. Give me 1 second. The principal office address is okay. Let me see, where are we at here? Okay, I see exactly where we're at. So the address is listed in Cheese Box Edition. Okay. And it comes back to a Ralph and Candace Privet. The governing person information is Dustin Clark. Dustin Clark. And it lists his address obviously at 412 East Streeter, which is his house. Then it has pictures like this. City of Muncie. The neighborhood ARP funds will go towards improvements in the Granville neighborhood. How much did they receive? $27,500. Now, this was a picture that was posted on social media a couple days ago, and you don't think anything about it. Here's Ridenauer, okay, and then here's two older people and two other people. Dustin Clark is nowhere in this picture. However, he's the person taking the picture. Dustin Clark is taking this picture. He's apparently the governing person of this Granville Neighborhood Association. I have heard that he is the president of that association. And the second page here basically, it's just okay. So basically, it's just that entire post. It's that entire post. They want me to be able to see that entire post, which I've already seen. That being said, I find it odd that he is the president of the association there. But the other thing is, the people that were calling me, when they called me it's been a couple months back, text me. They text me. They had stated that whatever he's doing with this neighborhood association, they were very concerned with. They were concerned with it. They said that he is somehow tied to the Granville Party House. For people in Muncie, you know what I'm talking about? The Granville Party House. Okay. That he's somehow tied to the no, Tweety Bird, I want you to text me directly to my phone number. Text me when you send me stuff. Text me directly to this number right here. 765-546-9796. I think you already have, and I have you in as Tweety Bird. Let me check. I don't know if you have or not. Maybe not. No, I don't think so. But text me to that number. If you have something to tell me, get a hold of me. But the reason I'm telling you guys this, so no, it's not specifically like a conflict of interest. I don't know that about him being, I don't know. That'll be something I don't know, because he works for the city of Muncie. He's allowed to live someplace. I guess he's allowed to be the president of the HOA or whatever. But now they're getting money from ARP. You know, Shireen got money from ARP. We all know what happened with that money. But it's just really weird. But the concern here is that he's connected to the Granville Party House somehow, and that, you know, something's going on there. So the reason I'm telling you guys this, please, 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 if you people are out there and you have information on Dustin Clark, okay, if you have information on Dustin Clark, call me or text me about it, okay? And you can do that by going to the studio line, 765-546-9796, and calling me or texting me. If you do not want to call or text me, you can email me at khbilbrey@gmail.com, or you can email me at tpsprogram, the political spotlight, get it? The political spotlight program @gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook. They're at facebook.com/Bilbrey318. That's Kristopher H. Bilbrey. That's my personal Facebook that I do all the podcast stuff from. Or you can go to the Political Spotlight's Facebook, which is facebook.com/Political Spotlight 318. You can do that. However, you can go to X, get a hold of me. I'm telling you, something is fishy with this Dustin Clark. And we just got to stumble on what it is, and we got to pull back the right pieces. There are enough things going on out here that I want to know what this is. I do not believe he should be working for the city of Muncie. I do not believe that he should be a contract employee for the city of Muncie. And I am going to have to put it out in black and white from A to B to C to get Dan to do anything about it. And in my opinion, that falls back on Dan, not on Dustin. Dan is the one that signs off on all of his invoices. You know, and it's about time to check into how many invoices he's turning in, what kind of invoices he's turning in, for how much. You know, I'm going to have to start watching, you know, more carefully the Board of Works and start checking up on that. You know, the invoices thing, I hope the city of Muncie knows it's going to be something that I just ask for from you guys, you know, on about a monthly basis. So you might as well. I'm just putting this out here. I'm putting this out here right now for Amber, for Shireen, for Dan, for Craig, and for Dustin. When you're preparing the invoices, you might as well just print off a copy for me, because I want them. I want every invoice Dustin ever turns in. No questions asked. I just want them. It perpetually just assume that I'm going to request you for those records. I'm putting in a forever request from now until I run you guys out of office. And as Kate said here, it all falls on Dan. Elizabeth says, for real, this is crazy. He's a contract employee, which is shady. Now he's president of the neighborhood association, and now he's getting $27,500. There's still a lot of questions about what's going on out at the Prairie Creek, what he did while he was out there. There's questions about money for docks and sand and lots of different things. I'm just telling you, I'm getting stuff coming in about Dustin. But we got to get it all together, and we got to be able to sort it all out. So do not sleep on this. Get me the information. Go to Dustin's Neighborhood Association meeting, Christopher, and ask for copies of what association is doing. I will absolutely do that. That's absolutely. DC Swamp Drainer, when I said that about Amber, the one thing I can tell you is Amber has been getting record requests done quicker than anybody before her. So that's the one thing I can say. Like her, don't like her, whatever the deal is, the one thing I can tell you is record requests have occurred faster than anybody else under Dan. So that is that's a plus in my book. I just asked for confidential info on the party house in the group. We'll share if I get anything. Oh yeah. That'll be interesting because there's some weird shit going on there. They're concerned that basically the police are kind of like slipping on, stopping things from going on, and basically people are saying that people are blocking cars or like tearing up their yard, and it's just causing people in the neighborhood to be concerned, and they're afraid that something bad's going to happen there, kind of like what happened at Hackley and Willard back in July of when was that, 2023, 2024, whenever it was, 2023. So people are just worried about that. So that's the Dustin dirt. And yeah, we've discussed it there before with that. And you know what? Here's the thing, Tweety Bird. It might actually be shut down now, but just with everything that was going on, what happened was people were worried that Dustin was connected to that. And then now finding out that, a week ago, he's, his group's getting $27,000. What's he going to do with it? What's the deal with him and money? It's always about him and money somehow. You know what I mean? Very strange. And Space Cat, yes, I've already requested all of the stuff on Adam Leach. I'm just waiting on the return for that. And from the time that I requested it to from the time that I requested Dustin's and got it, and the time that I requested Adam's, I said I thought that I was about 2 weeks behind. So I should be getting Adams really about any time. So hopefully I will know about that. Hey, it's no big deal, Road Warrior. We just dealt with a bunch of meeting stuff tonight, kind of Muncie stuff, nothing major on the House bill. We'll be looking at that more tomorrow. Hey, speaking of which, tomorrow we will be doing the roundtable with the officers. I'm telling the people out here still, I've got a good number of officers that are saying they are willing to come on. If you are an officer and your department is okay with you doing an interview, please get with me and let me know. I'm going to be chalking all of this up and giving you guys all the information tomorrow. I'm going to be contacting everybody and telling everybody kind of what the procedure is and what we'll do so we can make it running. The show will start tomorrow at 9 p.m. We'll start right out of the gate with them. But for everybody that's doing it, you need to get a hold of me quickly because, I want to get everybody ready and everybody scheduled, and I'm going to have to let you know what we need to do to kind of go through a run through. So we will do all of that. Yes, I am. I'm saying, come on, I got a donut. Come on. And, I'll let them know. So, yes, we are. I am baiting them with donuts. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. As always, share the word, spread the word, and help us get the show spread. Share the show with everyone you know. Hit the like before you leave. Subscribe if you haven't. And we will see you back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. As always, you guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Have a great rest of your night, of course. And we will see you all back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Take care. God bless. And goodbye.